Oh, oh, hello. Oh.
Everett,
hello.
You remember JC, don't you?
Well, of course, Everett. How do you do? I thought you were in Washington. Well, won't you please come right on in? Yes, sit down. Charlotte.
At 79, Diane Keaton isn't just defying age, she's commanding it. In a world where Hollywood often sidelines its stars past a certain age, Diane remains a trailblazer, breaking barriers with her unapologetic authenticity. From her trademark suits and iconic hats to her radiant smile and undeniable charisma, she's proof that age is not a limitation, but how does she do it? How has she stayed relevant, inspiring millions across generations? But how did Diane Keaton go from a quirky Hollywood newcomer to the timeless legend she is today? Let's uncover her remarkable journey. Diane Keaton's story begins in sunny Los Angeles, California, where she was born Diane Hall on January 5, 1946. The eldest of 4 siblings, Diane grew up in a lively and creative household. Her mother Dorothy was a homemaker who encouraged artistic expression, and her father Jack worked as a civil engineer. But it was Dorothy's influence that planted the seeds of Diane's love for the arts, especially when her mother won a beauty contest, sparking Diane's fascination with the spotlight. As a child, Diane wasn't like everyone else. She was curious, bold, and unafraid to dream big. She found solace in music, theater, and storytelling, and her personality reflected a quirky charisma that would one day captivate millions. Diane's love for performing began in high school, where she starred in school plays and developed a deep passion for acting. Her idols included Katharine Hepburn, whose unconventional elegance and independence would later influence Diane's own identity. After high school, Diane set her sights on New York City, enrolling at the prestigious neighborhood playhouse school of the theater. It was there that her passion transformed into purpose. She trained under Sanford Meisner, mastering the art of method acting and refining the emotional depth that would define her career. In this bustling city of dreams, Diane Hall made a significant decision. She adopted the stage name Keaton, borrowing her mother's maiden name to avoid confusion with another actress named Diane Hall. Diane's big break came in 1968, when she landed a role in the Broadway musical Hair. Her eccentric charm and undeniable talent caught the attention of Hollywood, and soon she began landing small roles in television. But the defining moment of her early career came in 1972, when she was cast as Kay Adams in Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather. Portraying the wife of Michael Corleone, played by Al Pacino, Diane brought depth and subtle strength to her role in one of the greatest films of all time. Despite sharing the screen with legendary actors, Diane's performance stood out. Her unconventional beauty and unique presence were a stark contrast to the cookie-cutter actresses of the era. Critics and audiences alike were captivated by her ability to balance vulnerability and quiet resilience, making Kay Adams a memorable character in cinema history. Diane's rise in Hollywood wasn't just about her acting, it was about who she was. In a world that often demanded conformity, Diane embraced her individuality. She didn't fit the mold of the traditional leading lady, and that's exactly what made her unforgettable. Her charm wasn't just in her appearance, but in her authenticity and the emotional honesty she brought to every role. Diane was just getting started. Her early successes laid the groundwork, but it was her next move that would cement her status as an icon of individuality and charm. The year was 1977, and Diane Keaton was about to become a cinematic icon. Her collaboration with Woody Allen would not only transform her career, but also redefine modern filmmaking. Their shared creative chemistry had already been evident in earlier works like Play It Again, Sam 1972, and Manhattan, Sam 1909. But it was Annie Hall that became the cornerstone of their partnership and a cultural phenomenon that would immortalize Diane as a Hollywood legend. In Annie Hall, Diane played the titular character, a quirky, free-spirited woman navigating love, life, and relationships. The role wasn't just written for her, it was her. Woody Allen drew heavily from Diane's real-life personality, even naming the character after her. Annie's charm, awkward humor, and intellectual depth mirrored Diane's traits, making her performance feel effortlessly authentic. Diane's portrayal of Annie Hall won her the Academy Award for Best Actress, but her impact went far beyond the gold statuette. She brought a new kind of female character to the screen, one who was witty, independent, and deeply relatable. In an era dominated by conventional depictions of women, Diane's Annie was a breath of fresh air. She didn't conform to expectations, she set her own. And then there was her style. Annie Hall's wardrobe, oversized suits, vests, ties, and floppy hats, was unconventional, daring, and completely Diane. The look wasn't meticulously crafted by a costume designer, it was inspired by Diane's style. What might have seemed mismatched to some sparked a global fashion revolution. Women everywhere began mimicking Annie's outfits, proving that fashion was no longer just about glamour, it could be a form of self-expression. Diane and Woody's creative partnership extended beyond Annie Hall. In films like Play It Again, Sam showcased her knack for blending vulnerability with humor, while Manhattan explored her ability to bring depth to complex relationships. In each collaboration, Diane's performances exuded a raw authenticity that connected deeply with audiences. What set Diane apart during the Annie Hall era was her ability to challenge and redefine stereotypes. Her characters weren't damsels in distress or one-dimensional love interests. They were multifaceted, intelligent, and flawed in the most human way. Diane's acting wasn't just about delivering lines, it was about embodying the nuances of real people. Off-screen, Diane's influence was equally profound. Her success in Annie Hall marked a turning point for women in Hollywood. She proved that female characters could be unapologetically themselves, quirky, smart, and imperfect, and still capture the hearts of audiences worldwide. How would she continue to break molds and reinvent herself in an ever-changing industry? Diane Keaton has always been a rule-breaker, a chameleon capable of transforming herself for any role. Unlike many actors who find comfort in a specific type of character, Diane refused to be boxed in. From drama to comedy, her career became a masterclass in versatility and bold choices. In 1981, Diane took on the role of Louise Bryant in Reds, directed by Warren Beatty. The film, set against the backdrop of the Russian Revolution, showcased Diane in one of her most dramatic and complex performances. Her portrayal of Bryant, a journalist and feminist navigating a politically charged era, earned her critical acclaim and an Academy. With Reds, Diane demonstrated that she was more than a comedic actress. She was a force capable of commanding powerful, thought-provoking narratives. But Diane wasn't content with being labeled a dramatic actress either. She pivoted to comedy with ease, proving her ability to make audiences laugh while still delivering heartfelt performances. In Baby Boom, 1987, she played J.C. Wyatt, a career-driven woman who unexpectedly inherits a baby and must navigate the chaos of motherhood. The role resonated with audiences, particularly women, as Diane brought humor and warmth to a story about balancing ambition and family life. By the 1990s, Diane had cemented her status as a household name. Her role in Father of the Bride, 1991, as Nina Banks, showcased her ability to bring tenderness and relatability to the screen. She played the quintessential loving mother with charm and elegance, proving once again that she could adapt to any genre and captivate audiences across generations. Beyond acting, Diane ventured into directing, further showcasing her creative range. Her directorial debut, Heaven, 1987, explored existential themes through an experimental lens. Later, with Unstrung Heroes, 1995, she crafted a poignant family drama that displayed her ability to balance humor with profound emotional depth. Diane's work behind the camera revealed her as a visionary storyteller, unafraid to take risks and explore unconventional narratives. What made Diane's career truly remarkable was her fearless approach to roles. She never hesitated to embrace characters that defied stereotypes. Whether playing a fiercely independent journalist, a corporate powerhouse turned mother, or a warm and relatable parent, Diane brought authenticity to every performance. She understood the power of vulnerability, often blending humor with raw emotion in a way that felt deeply human. Diane's willingness to reinvent herself and take creative risks kept her career fresh and dynamic. She wasn't just an actress, she was an artist who challenged herself and inspired others to do the same. Her ability to connect with audiences on such a wide spectrum of emotions made her a standout in Hollywood, a true original. Her career was flourishing, but Diane's life wasn't just about Hollywood. Behind the scenes, she was navigating personal choices and relationships that would shape her in profound ways. What was happening beyond the spotlight? Diane Keaton has always lived life on her terms. In an industry and society that often places expectations on women to follow a certain path, Diane chose her own. Her decision not to marry was unconventional, especially in Hollywood, where public personas often hinge on relationships. But for Diane, independence wasn't just a choice, it was a way of life. In interviews, Diane has been refreshingly candid about love and relationships. She dated some of Hollywood's most iconic men, including Warren Beatty, Al Pacino, and Woody Allen, but none of those relationships led to marriage. When asked why, Diane has often reflected on her personality and desire for freedom. She has admitted to being deeply in love, but also acknowledged her need for solitude and personal space. Her honesty about her choices has resonated with many, especially women who feel pressured to conform to traditional expectations. Motherhood, however, was a chapter Diane wasn't willing to leave unwritten. In her 50s, she made the bold decision to adopt 2 children, Dexter and Duke. By that time, she had already established a legendary career and could dedicate herself fully to raising them. Diane often describes motherhood as the most transformative experience of her life, one that brought her unparalleled joy and a deeper sense of purpose. Her approach to parenting, much like her career, was rooted in authenticity. Diane raised her children with the same values she embodied: independence, creativity, and the courage to be themselves. She has spoken openly about the challenges of being a single parent, but also the immense rewards, describing her children as her greatest love stories. Diane's personal life has always been a testament to staying true to oneself. She has never shied away from embracing individuality, even when it meant breaking societal norms. Her unique sense of style, her refusal to marry, and her choice to adopt later in life have inspired countless people to live authentically. Diane's advocacy for self-acceptance and individuality is woven into everything she does, from her public appearances to her deeply personal memoirs. Her life beyond the spotlight reveals a woman of incredible depth, a person who values relationships but prioritizes self-fulfillment, a mother who cherishes her children while maintaining her independence, and an icon who remains unapologetically herself. How did she embrace growing older with the same grace and confidence that defined her career? Diane Keaton has become a beacon of confidence and grace, proving that growing older is not a limitation, but a new chapter to embrace. As she entered her 50s, 60s, and now her 70s, Diane remained unapologetically herself. Instead of chasing youth, she leaned into her individuality and showed the world how to age with style, humor, and resilience. Her signature fashion sense has been a cornerstone of her reinvention. Diane's wardrobe, filled with tailored suits, bold hats, and layered pieces, is anything but conventional. She doesn't follow trends, she sets them. Each outfit exudes a sense of self-assuredness that has inspired women to embrace their unique style, regardless of age. Diane has shown that fashion isn't about fitting in, it's about standing out. But it's not just her style that sets her apart. Diane has been open and honest about aging, often poking fun at herself in interviews and on social media. She's spoken about the realities of getting older with humor and grace, acknowledging the challenges but never letting them overshadow the joy she finds in life. Her candid approach has made her a relatable figure, a rare quality in an industry that often clings to perfection. Diane's later career has been equally inspiring. In Something's Gotta Give, 2003, she starred opposite Jack Nicholson in a romantic comedy that broke barriers by focusing on love and relationships later in life. Her performance earned her another Academy Award nomination and reminded audiences that women over 50 could be leading ladies too. In Book Club 2018, Diane joined an ensemble cast to deliver a heartfelt and humorous exploration of friendship, love, and reinvention in the later stages of life. The film's success proved that stories about older women could resonate with audiences and be box office hits. Through it all, Diane has become a symbol of empowerment for women over 50 and beyond. She's shown that life doesn't end at a certain age, it evolves. Whether it's through her fashion, her humor, or her career choices, Diane continues to redefine what it means to grow older. She encourages women to embrace their wrinkles, their wisdom, and their individuality, reminding them that confidence is timeless. Diane was proving that age is just a number, but how does she continue to inspire new generations today? Diane Keaton's legacy transcends the confines of Hollywood. Her impact stretches beyond the silver screen, leaving an indelible mark on fashion, art, and the way women view themselves. At her core, Diane is more than just an actress or a style icon. She's a symbol of individuality, resilience, and unapologetic authenticity. Diane's influence on fashion is legendary. From her iconic Annie Hall wardrobe to her trademark hats and menswear-inspired looks, she has redefined what it means to dress with confidence. Her style isn't dictated by trends, it's an expression of her personality. Women across the globe have drawn inspiration from her bold choices, learning that style is less about following rules and more about embracing oneself. Her contributions to acting are equally significant. Diane redefined the modern female character, bringing intelligence, depth, and relatability to roles that often lacked dimension. Whether she was making audiences laugh in Baby Boom or moving them to tears in Reds, Diane's performances were always authentic. She carved out a place for herself in a male-dominated industry, proving that women could be quirky, strong, and vulnerable all at once. In 13 years as Diane's impact isn't limited to her public persona. She is a passionate philanthropist, lending her voice and resources to causes like affordable housing and historic preservation. Her advocacy reflects her belief in building a better, more inclusive world. Beyond her work in film and fashion, Diane's love for photography and writing showcases her boundless creativity. An accomplished photographer, she has published books that offer glimpses into her world, capturing moments with the same authenticity she brings to the screen. Her memoirs, such as Then Again and Let's Just Say It Wasn't Pretty, reveal her wit, honesty, and introspection, further connecting her with fans who see her as more than a celebrity. They see her as a kindred spirit. Diane's ability to remain relevant and inspiring for decades is no accident. She embraces change without losing herself, proving that reinvention doesn't mean compromising who you are. Her life and career are a celebration of courage, creativity, and the power of staying true to one's values. At 79, Diane Keaton is not just an actress or a fashion icon, she's a living testament to resilience, creativity, and authenticity. But what does her life look like today? Her enduring charm and zest for life continue to inspire millions. Diane Keaton is the embodiment of a life lived authentically, radiating grace, humor, and an unyielding zest for life. Even as decades have passed, Diane's charm remains as vibrant as ever. Her days are filled with creativity and connection, balancing her enduring love for acting with a life rich in family, art, and simple joys. Diane continues to light up the screen with her passion for acting. Whether it's a heartfelt romantic comedy or a playful ensemble film, her performances bring warmth and depth that resonate with audiences of all ages. She doesn't just act, she shares a part of herself with every role, reminding viewers why she has remained a beloved figure in Hollywood for over 5 decades. Off-screen, Diane's social media presence reveals her playful and candid side. Her Instagram feed is a delightful mix of quirky videos, heartfelt reflections, and glimpses into her personal life. From sharing her love for hats to posting humorous captions, Diane connects with fans in a way that feels intimate and genuine. Her authenticity on social media continues to draw admiration, proving that she is as relatable as she is iconic. At the heart of Diane's life are her children Dexter and Duke, whom she adopted later in life. She often speaks of them as her greatest joys, sharing how motherhood transformed her perspective and brought her unparalleled happiness. Her home life is centered on love and laughter, with her children and close friends forming a tight-knit circle that grounds her. Diane's optimism and creativity also extend to her love for home design and art. A passionate advocate for historic preservation, she finds beauty in the details of architecture and design, transforming spaces into works of art. Her books on photography and home renovation offer a window into her artistic soul, showcasing her ability to find magic in everyday moments. Even today, Diane remains a beacon of inspiration, proving that age is no barrier to living a full and meaningful life. She encourages others to embrace their quirks, celebrate their individuality, and never shy away from reinventing themselves. Her life is a testament to the power of staying true to oneself, no matter where the journey leads. Diane Keaton's life is a celebration of courage, creativity, and individuality. What part of her incredible journey resonates most with you? Share your thoughts below.